by your text you didn't like the show. I really did like the show. So I'm going to let you tell me what you didn't like about it, and then I will probably argue against you unless I agree.
So I I will start with the positive because I didn't think the show was all bad. There were parts I liked. I loved the Gunther AJ Styles match. I thought that was, to borrow a phrase from AJ Styles, I thought it was phenomenal. Um, I thought at the end, AJ could have just punched Gunther right in the face to get out of the choke, but nonetheless, I also liked that typically when a wrestler retires, they take off their ring gear and leave it in the middle of the ring. AJ was going to do that, but he didn't. So, is he actually retired, or is he going to show up somewhere else, whether it's TNA, New Japan, AEW? Because he has said there are opponents he'd like to face. So, I really liked the AJ Styles Gunther match. I thought that would be the best match on the show, and I think I was proven correct on that. The Drew McIntyre Sami Zayn match, I thought it was okay. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. It just didn't have enough story behind it for me to get fully invested. Um, and I get that part of that is Drew got strapped up in mid-January, so they didn't have a lot of time to build it up, but there just wasn't enough meat on the bone for me. It was a solid match, but I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was bad either. The men's Royal Rumble, I understand why they had Roman Reigns win because they want to do the CM Punk match. Don't love it. I'm not a fan of CM Punk, but I think the feud will be really good. The promo battle they had this past week on Raw, I thought it started a little bland for me. But then as they got more into it, I was like, okay, I can actually get behind this. Um, it's the women's Royal Rumble where I'm like, no.
Really? Because I actually thought it was better than the men's. It was my favorite women's Royal Rumble ever. I love the storytelling in the women's Royal Rumble.
I did like one of my favorite spots overall from the show was Charlotte eliminating Nia and accidentally or on purpose, well, we're gonna find out, also eliminating Alexa. Um, but when I heard Brie mode, I literally wanted to walk out the door.
Oh, you're not a Bellas fan.
Well,
I see.
hold on. I love Nikki Bella. I think Nikki is great. Brie, I do not like Brie Bella at all.
That's so weird to me. I don't. There's not a big difference between the two, to be honest with you.
Oh, I completely disagree. I think
What is it? The promo, the wrestling? Like you got to explain some more here, bud.
both. I think Nikki is the far better in-ring competitor. I think she is the far better promo. Um, I when Brie comes out, I'm just like, no, thank you. Um, and I didn't love Liv Morgan winning. I understood why they did it. Well, I thought I understood it, but nope, they kept the title on Stephanie McMahon because I thought for sure Raquel Rodriguez was going to win the title against Stephanie in the street fight, and then you got Raquel versus Liv right there on a silver platter, which leads to the downfall of the Judgment Day. But they're not doing that.
They still could. They still could. So one of the things for me is you got to remember, Josh, WrestleMania is not 2 months away. It's about 3 months away now because they moved WrestleMania back. So you have more time now to tell these stories. And I think that the finish of the Women's Royal Rumble was so Ruka, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, the final three, great booking, great finish. The way So Ruka went for the Soul Snatcher, which will be incredibly over on the main roster once she is there. I thought the biggest storytelling of both Royal Rumbles for the men and the women were the likes of Loa Vice, So Ruka, Jordan Grace, Oba Femi. Get the freaking world title on that man right now.
I would have had him. I know he ended up eliminating 5 people. I would have had him eliminate 10.
So that to me, it's get Lash Legend also in the Women's Royal Rumble, getting over these young stars. I think they did a really good job of that. Javon Evans was the Iron Man in the Men's Rumble. I thought the story they told with Kyrie Sane accidentally eliminating Io Sky. You had Rhea Ripley and
don't you mean Asuka?
Kyrie accidentally eliminated Asuka. Then you had Raquel eliminate Rhea after Io Sky was already taken out by Lash Legend, I believe. And then Liv Morgan dumps Raquel Rodriguez over the top rope with the death stare. And then obviously the final three. I thought it was a great finish with her getting the Oblivion to Tiffany Stratton off to win the match. I do like the way they started it with Charlotte and Alexa, them teasing them going after it, not necessarily going after each other. You had Kiana James at number 3, who I thought put in a really good showing for not having a lot of time on SmackDown every week to do that showing. I thought Chelsea Green and we're trying to salute Rhea Ripley and her climbing on the back of Alba Fire to save herself. Another great spot. I agree with you with the AJ Styles and Gunther match, best match of the night. I think the story they are telling with Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn, we'll get into the McIntyre angle, but with Sami Zayn, I said this going into the Rumble. I think Sami Zayn is turning heel. Whether it is he's going to go to the Elimination Chamber and lose in a number 1 contenders match, or he's just going to come back as a heel. And the story is Drew has beat Sami Zayn so many times. Sami Zayn wants to be a world champion. Sami Zayn is going to do what Drew McIntyre did when Drew McIntyre kept getting screwed over by the bloodline and eventually turn heel and not give a shit about everything and tell the truth. And eventually, I think Sami Zayn will become a world champion. The men's Rumble, I thought LA Knight, great showing. The fact that he eliminated the entire Vision. I absolutely love the fact that they brought back the Masked Man to eliminate Braun Breaker.
I hated that. I have mixed feelings about it.
I think the Masked Man was actually Logan Paul. And I think what you're going to have is Paul Heyman once again turning on the Vision, and Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul become the group. And Braun Breaker, who is already getting cheered like a baby face and getting barking out of the building, will be spearing the absolute hell out of Logan Paul and the Vision at WrestleMania. And maybe that's where Seth Rollins comes back. And maybe now Braun Breaker turned on Seth Rollins when Seth Rollins has beef with Braun Breaker. Well, he's also got beef with the rest of the Vision. He's got beef with CM Punk. He's got beef with Roman Reigns. We know he's got beef with Cody Rhodes. We know his history with Drew McIntyre. There's a lot of directions you could go with Seth Rollins, that he could be back by the Elimination Chamber. He could be back after WrestleMania. We think he might have been the one to attack Braun Breaker. I don't think he was. And then I do think if you're going to have Roman Reigns win the Rumble, which all things are back in the world, the OTC's back at the top of the mountain, you don't need Braun Breaker in there. And the fact that Gunther sold the absolute hell out of AJ Styles, putting him in the calf crusher by limping down to the ring, I thought was great. You know, I
didn't love Gunther being number 30 in the Rumble. To me, that was a bit of a mistake, personally.
I mean, that's fair, but I think if you're going to have him eliminate Randy Orton, maybe they're doing the career killer versus the legend killer at WrestleMania. I could see that.
That would be a great feud. But my problem with Gunther being in there is, like, he has all this momentum from retiring fan favorites in Goldberg, John Cena, AJ Styles. I don't really want to divert or derail that momentum by
there's no momentum there because the Royal Rumble, anybody can get thrown over the top rope.
I personally just didn't think it was the right position. Right.
Well, Gunther already announced he was going to be in the Rumble before they had this match with AJ, so he was in the Rumble.
I understand. I get that, but I just didn't love that he was number 30 and he ended up getting thrown out in the final two by Roman.
Well, again, it makes Roman Reigns look stronger. And I'll be honest with you, when Roman first came out on Raw, I kept saying, please don't make your choice. I want to have this go to the Elimination Chamber. I want the drama of CM Punk and either Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes standing there in the ring with the Undisputed Championship and Roman Reigns making his choice. But God damn it, when CM Punk came out and they started that promo, that was a 10 out of 10 masterclass in how you tell a story. Because that was not Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. That was Joe out of Hawaii versus Phil Brooks. And Punk, you know, when you had to go on vacation for 10 years, when you had to leave the Major League Company, which I thought that was a great line, by the way, a little shot at AEW. And then you had to come back to this company. And Paul asked me, and he was not talking about Paul Heyman. It was a little nod to WB Unreal. He was talking about Paul Triple H Levesque when Paul asked me to bring you back. And I said, yes, I said I was going to be a good person. But guess what? We teamed up War Games on some zebras type shit. And then as you're walking up the apron with that World Heavyweight Championship, you mock me. Like I'm some stupid idiot. Well, I've always hated you. And at WrestleMania 42, you will acknowledge me. It instantly, not only does it make the World Heavyweight Championship the number one championship in all professional wrestling, but it makes Roman Reigns versus CM Punk instant 10 out of 10. I can see it tomorrow. These guys don't have to do no more. Sign me up right now. I don't care what they do for the Undisputed Championship. I don't care. I've seen some theories out there that Cody Rhodes can win the title back from Drew. Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber. We get the match you've wanted between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. That'd be great. I don't care what they do. I'm already sold. I want Roman Reigns versus CM Punk tomorrow. And I do think the story here could be Roman Reigns wins the World Championship. Why? Because in the Royal Rumble, when Jey Uso started running it back in the middle of the Royal Rumble, what did Roman Reigns do? He punched him in the face. Because Roman Reigns is not back to dance and laugh and be silly. You know, he was doing that for a little bit. Jey Uso, you've turned into an unserious goof since winning the World Heavyweight Championship where all you do is yeet, and that's all you care about. Roman's coming back to show Jey Uso this is the World Heavyweight Championship. This is how you defend it. He's going to hold it longer and better than Jey ever had because he is overall better than Jey, and Jey is not ready to take over the throne. That is the story I would tell.
Again, I at the beginning of the promo, I thought it was a little bit, a little bit bland and didn't quite grab me. But by the end, I'm like, you know what? As much as I hate CM Punk, I want to see this match.
And by the way, they're probably going to run Punk versus Finn Balor back in Chicago. I would have personally preferred it if Punk defended the title inside the chamber. But you know they're going to find a way to convince us that Finn Balor is going to shine hell of walking out of there with the world title because he's got history with Roman Reigns. Remember the stupid thing they did with the Demon at Extreme Rules where he fell off the ring rope and basically we still don't have an explanation why?
Yeah, we still don't have an explanation from the Royal Rumble a couple years ago where Roman just wouldn't let go against Seth Rollins for the title. Remember?
Well, that was hate.
But we never got an actual conclusion for that.
No, well, it's both of these guys hate each other. And again, is there a world? That's why I'm so excited about this. Roman Reigns and CM Punk could absolutely be the main event of WrestleMania. Is there a world where, I don't know, some crazy universe exists? What happens if Seth Rollins comes back and steals the world title before WrestleMania? We get Rollins and Roman.
You know I'd be in for that.
And by the way, there's also a scenario where what if Braun Breaker wins the world title? And now we get Breaker versus Roman, the two Heyman guys going after each other.
Yeah.
Like, well, here's the thing. I think Roman and Punk is going to happen. But I think last year with Io Sky defeating Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship and Drew McIntyre this year beating Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship, it has set the precedent of never say never.
For sure. I've seen like things on social media saying it's confirmed that the Masked Man was Grayson Waller. I don't know if you've seen.
Well, then he did it at the Rumble because Seth wasn't there. I did see that. The beauty thing is and it's what I said about when they revealed it as Austin Theory. It could be Austin Theory. It could be anybody because they're not seen.
Yeah, definitely.
By the way, I did want to make this point real quick across the board. I know people were upset because, there were no legends outside of Brie Bella, and there was no Chris Jericho return, and there wasn't a lot of big surprises. Here's my thing, and I think I told you this, and maybe even C-Boss at last year's Rumble. The WWE roster right now is more stacked than it's ever been. That you can make the case. Remember 5-6 years ago where they were relying on 15, 16, 17 legendary women to come back because they didn't have enough women to fill a Women's Royal Rumble? Well, yeah, sure, they used a few NXT talent this year, but they're still a current superstar. I think it does show how much the WWE roster has grown. They did not need surprises at the Rumble. I did not miss the surprise of the Rumble. I think outside of maybe would I have put Carmelo Hayes in over the two AAA guys they had in? Yeah, I would have. But you're trying to show off AAA, that's your acquisition. I get it, though. Again, I think it's kind of dumb they acquired AAA, but I'm not a fan. Some people are. But, outside of Carmelo Hayes, there's not a ton of names that I would say needed to be in that Rumble that weren't in there.
I loved Powerhouse Hobbs, but Royce Keys. That was cool. That was cool on the Titantron that it said Powerhouse Hobbs, and then it had the shattered glass, and it said Royce Keys. I'm definitely gonna miss him in AEW. He was one of my favorites. I loved watching him. I wish he had gotten a run as AEW World Champion. I definitely think that was a big miss by Tony Khan. See, I'm not afraid to give Tony Khan an AEW criticism.
I am surprised. I thought you were going to come out here. Roman Reigns won again. This is so boring. Here we go. I'm actually, because based off the text, I really thought you hated the show.
For the most part, I didn't love it. But
again, I think the biggest difference is I approach wrestling now different than I did even 6 months ago. I am approaching everything from a storytelling, holistic point of view, which is you go this direction, you can go this direction. I don't know which way it's going to go. I'm tired of getting angry because the thing that I want to happen didn't happen. Maybe what I want to happen didn't happen because what I wanted to happen is worse than what's going to happen.
Yeah. I didn't love that Royce Keys. I got to get used to saying that. Forgive me if I do call him Powerhouse because that's how I knew him for so long. Kind of like how you didn't call him Adam Copeland right away.
I still don't call him Adam Copeland. So feel free to call him Powerhouse Hobbs.
Okay. Powerhouse, I didn't love that he got eliminated by, I think it was Damian Priest. Although
he eliminated Priest.
Oh, I thought, wait a minute. I thought it was Priest.
He was eliminated by Obafemi.
Oh, my bad then. Which as much as I love Oba, I was like, really?
Oba. I'm telling you right now, I would not be mad and I know you don't like him. Oh, but Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania.
Oh, I would hate it. Hate it. I can't stand Brock Lesnar at all.
Well, you got 2 matches with Brock Lesnar left. You have a WrestleMania match, you have a SummerSlam match where Gunther will retire him.
And once Brock Lesnar goes away, I will like WWE much better.